I've never seen anybody actively shooting at somebody else on the street. The first thing on my mind was, what, don't get shot, take a picture, and then go hide.
See something, say something.
We hear police encourage people to do just that all the time when it comes to reporting suspicious behavior and crimes. An Akron woman did just that. She actually did more than that. She took pictures of a man suspected of killing a rideshare driver.
Yeah, and police believe her actions helped detectives solve that high-profile case. And tonight, she's speaking only with News 5's Bob Jones.
A beekeeper for a dozen years, Sarah Smithers was tending to some of her honeybees Sunday evening, wearing half of her white suit when she was startled by gunfire.
What the hell?
Near her Akron home.
I saw a dude with a gun shooting.
What Sarah didn't know was that 48-year-old Christopher Rookie, a Lyft driver and a married father of two, had been shot and killed inside of his car on East Bookdale Avenue. But Sarah kept her eyes on the man she believes pulled the trigger.
I was there, and the only vantage point I had was shooting right there, which was where he was.
Sarah quickly took steps to protect herself.
Oh, I backed the hell up.
Backing up behind some trees.
There was a lot of adrenaline, I will say that much.
And then she grabbed her cell phone and captured pictures of the suspect walking down the street.
Shoot somebody in broad daylight and just walk away. I mean, get him.
Next, Sarah called 911.
I took a picture and ran in the back so he wouldn't shoot me.
Telling the operator what the man was wearing.
He's got a blue mask on and a blue hoodie.
And which way he was walking.
He was headed west on Bookdale.
The next day, police arrested their murder suspect, Khalil Poe, and investigators say the efforts of the beekeeper turned witness made a big difference. Police believe Poe is the man Sarah took pictures of.
And I think it's immeasurable from the standpoint, again, it really dictated the momentum, the early momentum that the investigation took.
Akron police plan to talk to Summit County Crime Stoppers about the possibility of giving Sarah a reward for her role in helping police solve the high-profile murder.
Undeniably, her information did assist us greatly.
Sarah says she appreciates the reward consideration, but stressed that's not the point of what she did.
I just wanted to make sure the cops had every information I could think of to find him as fast as they could.
Now, with the suspect locked up, Sarah is thinking of Christopher Rookie and justice for his family.
It makes me really happy to know that maybe I had something in getting the guy who did that.
In Akron, Bob Jones, News 5.
Now, as for Poe, he's in the Summit County Jail tonight on a $1 million bond. He appeared in court via video earlier this week, pleaded not guilty to murder. His case will now be presented to the grand jury.
It's just time. I just like I didn't intend to run for it, but I did. Now I intend not to run for it.
Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson talking about his decision not to run for a fifth term with 5 on Your Side investigator Sarah Buttison.
Now, we have more of Sarah's one-on-one in just minutes, but we begin our team coverage tonight with how the race is shaking out now that Jackson's name will not be on the ballot.
News 5's John Cossack covered all 4 of Jackson's previous runs. John, this news really not all that unexpected?
No, Rob, especially given the fact that he hadn't been doing any fundraising or organizing. But, then again, 4 years ago, we thought the RNC was going to be his mic drop moment and he was going to walk away then. And he decided to give it another run in 2017 and won. But now that we know for sure, the jockeying begins. The last time the office of Cleveland mayor was open 20 years ago, there were 10 candidates on that October primary ballot with fewer than 1,000 votes separating the top 2. Look for a similar lineup this year now that the seat is once again open.
It confirms that this is going to be a very competitive race.
A race that includes, among others, Council President Kevin Kelly, Councilman Bashir Jones, former Councilman Zach Reed, State Senator Sandra Williams, and nonprofit executive Justin Bibb. A Baldwin-Wallace survey of Cleveland voters this week showed all with a range of familiarity at this early stage of the campaign.
Of course, the one looming over all of this is the former mayor, state senator, and Congressman Dennis Kucinich.
Kucinich telling me this afternoon if you thought he'd decide one way or the other today, you would be wrong.
Well, John, right now this is Frank Jackson's day. It really needs to, the focus really needs to be on him. And anyone who is a candidate or whose candidacy is speculated about, this is a moment to thank Frank Jackson.
Now, we still have 49 days for candidates to officially file to get into the race, but with the exception of Kucinich, most of those who we thought might or will either have or signaled that they will not.
Could possibly, maybe. We got hopefuls from different parts of the city, John. So what role will that play in these campaigns we're going to see?
Yeah, it'll play a huge role, Rob. This is a race that will be decided geographically, politically, racially. And the best hope for those who are looking to make that November runoff is identify the area of the city where you have the strongest support and make sure those are voters that get to the poll in September.
That all makes sense. John Kosick reporting live. Thanks, John.
All right, now to that one-on-one interview with Mayor Jackson, and he lays out why he's not seeking that record 5th term and what he sees as his legacy after 16 years in office. 5 on Your Side investigator Sarah Buttison talked with the mayor today, and Sarah, I heard you say earlier, he's confident he could win if he ran.
Absolutely, Courtney. He said he has never lost an election, and he does remain confident he could win if he were to run again. But he said now is the time to hang it up.
From the foreclosure crisis to the pandemic, from the Republican National Convention and an overdue sports championship to children shot dead, problems with police and protests, Frank Jackson has been the mayor of Cleveland.
Regret? I don't have one right now.
He says he did his best to solve impossible problems like crime, racism, and poverty.
I've always felt and continue to feel that more could have been done by me.
While successfully working to bring people, jobs, and events to downtown Cleveland.
Sometime my role was to be out front, sometime my role was to get out the way and not mess things up.
A strong believer in second chances, no matter what. He had given one to Lance Mason when he killed his wife, which led him back to the subject of regrets.
And so my regret is that I didn't give more chances, that I didn't help more people have an opportunity to take care of themselves and their family and be productive contributors to society.
He denied his administration has failed to be open and transparent, even though reporters' requests often go unfulfilled. And this is the first interview he's done with us since the start of the pandemic.
I will say that our deadline and y'all deadlines don't always match up.
His work rehabilitated neighborhoods and showed Cleveland can pull off big events, but he knows his successor will face the same struggles he has: lost jobs, drugs, and violence.
I'm saying that welcome to the game, whoever wants to play it.
Right now, the mayor says he is not endorsing any of the candidates who are running to be his successor, but he did have some advice for voters. He says he hopes they choose a candidate who is honest and choose someone who can handle any crisis that comes their way. Courtney?
All right, Sarah, we appreciate that interview. Thank you so much. And of course, News 5 will have complete coverage of the mayor's race all the way up through Election Day.
We have breaking news now just into the newsroom. A federal jury found a Cleveland man guilty of attempted kidnapping in a plot to ambush police. Investigators say 21-year-old Christian Ferguson spoke about plans to lure law enforcement to a remote area with a fake call, then take their weapons, their gear, and possibly kill them. They say he hoped to inspire uprisings, but now he'll be sentenced in August. A school coach charged with sexual battery tonight. Jason DeMacchia was arrested after the head of Lake Ridge Academy reported to North Ridgeville police that a student told a teacher she was struggling because she had been assaulted. DeMacchia was a paid coach at the academy during one school year, eventually became a volunteer coach. He is out on bond tonight.
Cuyahoga County is facing another lawsuit after a death at the troubled county jail. Nicholas Colbert was in the jail less than 24 hours for a drug possession charge when he hanged himself inside his cell 2 years ago. The attorney representing Colbert's family says Colbert told jail workers he'd recently attempted suicide. But rather than place him in a mental health unit, records show Colbert was placed in a special unit with other military veterans. He was the 9th Cuyahoga County jail inmate to die within 11 months.
Clouds are rolling in and the showers are not far behind. Plus, we've got a soggy, soaking Mother's Day coming your way next.
After so many years of it being vacant, you begin to start to take it personally and wonder if it's something about the neighborhood.
But now, an empty shopping center at one of Cleveland's busiest intersections could soon be bustling again.
What's in store for the old Kmart site? It looks like the job market is not bouncing back like some had hoped. Economists expect the U.S. to add 1 million jobs last month, but we only added a fourth of that, 266,000. And the unemployment rate went up 0.1%. Experts thought vaccines and more businesses reopening would give hiring a kickstart, but construction companies and automakers had to pull back on hiring because of a slow supply chain.
You know, at its peak, there were nearly 2,500 Kmart stores, but now we're down to a couple dozen.
So what do you do with all those shuttered storefronts? A plan to reuse and redevelop one of those sites earned important approvals from the Cleveland Planning Commission this morning.
News 5's Jordan Vandenberg in the West Park neighborhood with more on what's in store.
The corner of West 150th and Lorraine is one of the West Side's busiest intersections, and yet for the longest time, the Kmart behind me that folded years ago has remained empty. No new tenants have been moving in. But behind the scenes for years has been a plan to change that. The shopping center that came to life at the corner met its end, backed into one. With the blue light special long gone, George Lipscomb,
they had one heck of a clearance sale.
hopes its replacement will soon get the green light.
I miss Kmart being right here. It's like one of the best convenient things ever, you know. Everything's in walking distance around this area.
By foot or by car, developers believe their plan will cater to shoppers of all kinds. The New York-based firm's plan calls for reusing the former Kmart and splitting it into 3 new retailers. Across the sea of cracked concrete would be a restaurant and grocery store. Councilman Charles Slife says the plan has what the area wants and needs.
This is a very important project for Ward 17 in West Park, and quite honestly, what's the future of the Kmart Plaza is the question that I have to field the most when talking to residents and business owners and stakeholders. So there's been a lot of interest in this.
After years of tweaks and fine-tuning, the proposal earned site approval by the Planning Commission, and officials say it's sorely needed. A CSU study found retail and grocery options in the neighborhood became sparse once Kmart locked up for the last time.
Definitely, it'd be a lot closer than walking down the Marks. Hopefully, they just kept everything that we need.
What we're seeing is that there's an ability to bring in national retailers into West Park, that this is a desirable place to invest. It's a high traffic intersection. There's great transit access that's improving. So there's a lot of wins here.
It won't entirely be out with the old, though. The developer says the keystone and plaque from the century-old Marquardt building will be saved as part of what could be a public art space. The shopping center may offer what the area needs, and Lipscomb says the best part of all is that he'll just need his feet to get there.
I like that, because especially when I just want to walk on a nice day, beach driving. So definitely be worth it.
In Cleveland, Jordan Vandenberg, News 5.
And while a lot of stores struggle to stay open during and even before the pandemic, dollar stores, they are thriving.
In fact, 3 dollar store chains are responsible for nearly half of all new store openings in the U.S. this year. Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and Family Dollar plan to open nearly 3,600 new stores combined. Discount stores were already seeing growth before the pandemic, and experts say it's in part because of the increase in wealth inequity in this country. Just last year, Cleveland put a temporary moratorium on construction permits for dollar stores in the city.
Courtney, Mark, apparently we're showing Mom a whole lot of love this Mother's Day. The National Retail Federation predicts we will spend $28 billion on Mom this year. Not the 3 of us, but all of us. That's up more than $1 billion from just last year. On average, people plan to spend about $220. Nearly half plan to give Mom a special outing, maybe brunch. That's up a bit from last year, but still less than how many took her out before the pandemic.
$28 billion. That sounds like Rob Powers' money.
Yeah, that's what it is. Mark, I'm afraid.
Well, wait a minute now. There's an update on the 14-karat dog bling that I got Mary for Mother's Day. I just got a text from her.
Yeah, you did.
You're in the dog house.
Oh.
I guess.
Not the dog pound, the dog house.
I guess I better do better. All right. Sorry, Mary. Anybody want a $40 dog necklace?
$40.
It's actually very nice.
Thank you very much. It's plastic. Rain overnight, thunder possible. Yeah, that's what we're tracking. Already thunderstorms approaching Cleveland from the west. I'll show you those in a second. Staying chilly all weekend. 50s tomorrow. 40s for Mother's Day for highs. A soaker for Mom with heavy rainfall possible. So those are your weather headlines. Right now, two perspectives. Cleveland, we're looking toward the east. We've got some sunshine, 55 degrees right now. Now let's look west. This is our silo cam from the east side of town looking west at the ball yard, and there are dark skies. Indeed, we've almost got a little shelf cloud beginning to form right here. There are some strong thunderstorms moving in 55-degree weather right now. Akron, Canton, 56. Ashtabula is down to 49. Lorraine is at 50 with rain showers and storms. Mansfield, 48 with rain. And Dover, New Philly in the 50s. So around the horn, you can tell where it's raining because temps have fallen off. 50, 50, 50 with rain. No rain here yet, but it's coming in very quickly. Mentor's at 49 with that little lake breeze, and Ashtabula's been stuck in the clouds most of the day. Millersburg, you're an overachiever. You hit 60 degrees today. Here's a live pic from Worcester High School showing the rain showers moving in there from the west. Temperatures today, mid-50s. Akron, Canton, mid-50s. Dover, New Philly, and Mansfield, upper 50s. Ashtabula at 50. Look at this line of thunderstorms coming in with heavy rainfall. Oberlin to Elyria into Lorraine now. You can see the lightning bolts flashing. It's moving into Medina County, Lodi. All around you. Medina, you may escape this heavy band of rain, although it's probably going to graze you right there on the north side. And then back to the west a few miles, you got more heavy rain moving